So, big, massive welcome to Adam Barrett. Thank you for joining us on Talking Shrimpers podcast. First of all, how you been today?
Yeah, very good. First of all, thanks for having me on here.
Pleasure.
Pleased to come on, obviously, and talk about anything to do with Southend, which I'm very happy to do. So, no, I'm very well, and looking forward to it.
Good. So we've been debating, Charlie and myself, our best Southend 11 over the time we've supported the club, which is about 35 years. You'll be pleased to know you are in the 11. You've made it with another centre-back who we can actually now tell you because we've just reached that part in the series. So you're alongside a guy, I don't know if you've heard of him, a guy called Spencer Pryor.
I might have heard of Spinner. yeah. Shared many a dressing room, many a picture of Spinner. Yeah.
Not a bad partnership, is it?
No. Let's start with that. What was it like playing with Spencer?
It was obviously when I first come to the club, I was sort of early 20s, and Spinner was at the back end of his career. We just seemed to hit it off straight away. Got on really well. I think we complemented each other. Our styles of play, we helped one another, and I thought he was, really enjoyed the 2 years we had together. Very successful period as well, which always helps. But I thought with his experience and probably my enthusiasm and youth and coming back to obviously my club and the club I love, I just thought it worked very well. And sometimes it just clicks, and it definitely did that with me and Spencer.
So we're going to come on to your career in a moment, but you picked you probably want to know who you beat, the pair of you. So we debated John White, Dave Martin, and Leon Court. Some great players there. Do you remember? Have you played with any of those, or remember any of those?
Yes, of course. Played against obviously Leon, Dave Martin I knew of, and John White obviously played with and against. So know them guys quite well. Leon more as a competitor playing against, but we're all good guys, and I'm very honoured that you picked me, and I'm very proud as well. Give me heart and soul to the football club, so it's nice when it does get recognised. Thank you very much. It's good company there.
Yeah. So we mentioned we did give three others a mention. Didn't quite make the cut, did they, Charlie? No, that was Leo Roger, and also a couple of our current guys. Ben Goodliff's gone out my head now. Harry Taylor and Ben Goodliff. What have you made of those two? I mean, obviously Ralphie's there as well. Three great centre backs.
Yeah, I mean, obviously I don't get to see you as much every week like you guys do, because obviously I've got me my own games and very busy myself. But obviously Ben got sent off at the weekend, so it's nice when he's on the pitch and not off the pitch. But I think obviously the main aim for the football club is to get back in the Football League without a doubt. And the bits that I've seen of the club, I think the squad's very strong this year. I think it should be competing at the top end, and I expect it to be competing come the end of the season, in and amongst it. So it's good to see the club on its way back. It's good to see now a lot of positivity about the place. And the two guys that you mentioned there especially, and with the captain Ralph, are going to be vitally important for the club moving forward.
Yeah. So looking at your Southend career, you obviously had two spells with us. First between 2004 2010, and then 2015 to 2017. So in total, 306 appearances and quite a poor return of goals, actually, just 31. Not a huge amount for centre back. That's not bad at all, is it? Looking at your honours, obviously, Football League trophy runner-up, 2004-05. League 2 playoff winner, 2005. League 1 winners, 2005-06. And then in your second spell, League 2 playoff winners, 2015. Obviously, looking at those and sort of other games for us, what would be your highlights with Southend?
It's hard when everyone asks me this. It's very difficult because the first spell, especially the first 4 years, there were so many. It was such a fantastic time to be playing for the football club, playing for my local town, my club, with all my family and friends there, and the support was tremendous. It just felt there was a real togetherness. So obviously the playoff win to get promoted stands out. Cup games, Chelsea for me at home, obviously.
Yeah, we'll come on to those.
Score, the away game where we get a draw at the Bridge. Last game of the season to win the League One title against Bristol City. Sean Goater's last day. There's so many along the way. It's really difficult to pick up. My home debut where you scored 2 goals was always special for me. So there were so many, and then the second spell to, I think, the stage I was at in my career where I could really enjoy it. I've never played at Wembley because the times we got to Cardiff, Wembley was being redeveloped.
Yeah, of course.
To get to Wembley with my club, to have all my family, friends there, and to win it was probably a real icing on the cake for me, and something which I probably enjoyed that more than the others, and I could really appreciate because I was 36 at the time, so I could really appreciate that moment. So that was very, very special to me.
Obviously, we've touched on as well about your goal return. For a centre half, it's not too bad, is it at all? I was wondering, there's a couple of goals that stick out for me. Like, have you got any particular favourite goals that sort of stick in your mind for yourself over that time?
I think obviously Chelsea at home, everyone goes on about the header. Probably one of my best goals was probably Southampton away, last day of the season in the Championship, left foot volley from the edge of the box.
Yes, I remember it well. Yeah.
2 goals at home to Sunderland in the Championship always sort of stick out. But probably the one, and it's not from open play, but the one that was probably my penalty at Wembley. Just to score at Wembley for the occasion of what it was, the stage I was at in my career, the drama of the day. And obviously it was it wasn't as far back as the others, so I can remember it a little bit more vividly. But
that's one that sort of
just sticks in my mind.
That's one that sticks in my mind.
And I think it was because I knew what was riding on it. And if you miss the penalty, everyone talks about it. You sort of leave a little bit of a legacy where everyone goes on about your penalty miss. I knew, I could sense, your guys, the support. They really didn't want me to miss that one. It was, I could think of my family sitting there, didn't want me to miss it. So
No, you can really see the passion. You could see the passion when you stepped up. You absolutely hell for leather, and there was no. I think even the keeper caught it. He's getting the back of the net regardless. So you could see that you meant that and what it meant. As you touched on.
Yeah, I think one thing throughout my career, one thing could be, played good, bad, whatever, but I always wore my heart on my sleeve, and I was always 110% every game, maximum effort as well as brought up.
Yeah. And I think that shows. I think there's no, you speak to any Southend fan, I think there's no question you're a real fan favourite. I mean, I spoke to my mum and I said, oh my God, you're never going to guess who we're interviewing. I've got Adam Barrett. Like, growing up, like you was like, oh my God, it's Adam Barrett. I've got the hairstyle and everything. And literally my mum, but funny enough, my mum turned around and goes, I've got a photo of him when he was at Crystal Palace. So, it was brilliant. It really was.
I mean, that must have been an amazing feeling.
Yeah, sorry, chaps. I felt that, I used to stand on the North Bank as a kid. My dad took me to my first game in the East Stand. So I've got so many great memories at Roots Hall, and to finally put on the shirt, it did mean something to me. And I did feel a responsibility. I felt a responsibility to my friends, my family, to the supporters, that every time you do step across that white line, it means something, and it did. And I was privileged. I was very, very lucky to play for the town, my hometown club. And it, like I said, it was heart on my sleeve, and I loved every minute of it. I really did. Even the bad times, I just love representing the club.
So I worked at Wembley for many years, so I saw a lot of games, and I was there when Southgate missed the penalty in the semi-final against Germany. and Lineker as well. When he got a penalty against Brazil, I remember it. And if he'd have scored, he would have equalled Bobby Charlton's record. Yeah, and he tried to do a Panenka. What an idiot! Yeah. He's always regretted it, and he never overtook him. I mean, obviously, sort of Rooney overtook him, and then Kane's just gone crazy, hasn't it? But yeah, I mean, for you, scoring for your, boyhood club, albeit from penalty at Wembley, how did that? Probably, you said it was kind of at the latter end of your career, but you probably felt like a 12-year-old, didn't you?
Yeah, I always did. I remember standing there with the national anthem playing, and I was a football fan, and the hairs on the back of me. I haven't got hairs on my head, but the hairs on the back of my neck stood up. And I did. I got a little bit emotional because I had my mum in the crowd who weren't well, my family, my father-in-law weren't well, and to have them share that moment with me at the stage of the career I was at, I had a lump in my throat, and it just meant so much to us. It was an amazing occasion.
Amazing.
I was at Wembley a couple of years earlier when Southend lost to Crewe. As a supporter, I was playing for Gillingham at the time, and I went there on the Sunday and lost. So to actually go back with Southend to a final, to play for the football club, which I love, for me, it just doesn't get much better than that. So it was, it's just an unbelievable feeling. A lot of relief, as you can see, when the ball hit the back of the net. Don't get me wrong. So it was, just a lot of emotion coming out, and thankfully, we went on to win, and what a day, what a day that was.
It kind of reminded me, I was at the Euro 96 when Stuart Pearce stepped up, smashed it in. I don't know if you remember that, and the emotions from him that day. Reminded me of that a little bit.
Yeah, Stuart Pearce was always the type of player I liked. He was another, you knew what you were getting with him. It was a hard, physical player. And that's one of my favourite moments, Stuart Pearce scoring Euro 96. The relief that he had from missing the penalty in 90. It was incredible. And the pressure, and the mental strength to be able to cope with that. And I missed a penalty for Crystal Palace in the Cup against Portsmouth a few years earlier, and I changed my mind. So I was very adamant this time. I'm not changing my mind. I know exactly what I was doing. I was very, very confident walking up. And just thankful that I see it at the back of the net.
Fantastic. So there's a couple of games I want to touch on. So obviously you mentioned the Chelsea game. Going there must have been, incredible. Getting a 1-1. I think it was Peter Clark, wasn't it? Got the equaliser.
Yeah.
And then taking Chelsea back to Roots Hall. Now, obviously, you opened the scoring. Did you think at that point, you know what? We could do this. It could be a bit of a giant killing on here.
Definitely. I think at the time, Chelsea were struggling with set plays. They were in a zonal marking, scored the first, and we all believed, I felt every time we had a set play or a corner, that they were on the ropes, and you could sense, even though they had big players in the team, you just sensed that we can turn these over here. And I always say the defining moment for me was just before half time. I think if we would have got in 1-0 at half time, it was really game on for us. And Michael Ballack, not a bad player. He scored.
He's all right,
tough, wasn't he?
He done all right. He scored a cracking left-footed shot, top corner, just before half time. And I remember in the dressing room at half time, we were disappointed it was 1-1 because I thought we was actually quite in control of the game at the time. We were worrying them. And I think that goal just before half time just changed the momentum of it. You could feel they were coming out. They grew in confidence, and obviously the quality that they've got then started to play out in the second half. But 100%. Up until that moment, we felt we were the team that were pushing and causing them all sorts of problems. But it wasn't meant to be, unfortunately. But like I said, another great occasion at Roots Hall, and there's nothing better than an evening game at a full house. It's a fantastic venue to play in.
And the other one, you mentioned winning the league on the last day of the season. I believe it's also Goater's last game, wasn't it? What do you recall of that?
A bit of a party atmosphere. It was, unbelievable season. I think we were written off at the start of the season, one of the favourites to get relegated. And I just thought we were very, very strong that year. We had a real good togetherness, team spirit. I thought the support from the terraces was key. I mean, the whole town was right behind the team at the time. And we went into it full of confidence, but we wanted to go up as champions. It was really important. We'd done the job.
Yeah.
We knew we were up because obviously at Swansea, we got the point that took us up. But we wanted to finish the job off. We were really, determined to do that and also beat the mob down the road, which we all know because they were going for promotion at the time. So we wanted to make sure we won the title. Yeah. And it was just a great occasion. And then Wayne Gray getting the goal late on.
Yeah, last minute, wasn't it?
Oh, it was just fantastic. The relief. And I think all that season's hard work. Well, it wasn't just that year's; it was the previous year's hard work that was involved.
Of course.
And Sean Goater was such a great senior pro to come in at the time. One of the nicest guys you meet. There was no big time Charlie. He was one of the boys. Done everything. Big smile on his face. Really helped Freddie, Wayne Gray. Really helped the other centre forwards. So to send him off the way it was with a title win was...
Yeah, what an amazing end for his career. Last minute, pick up a trophy. Incredible.
Yeah,
That's the way
we
to
were
do
delighted
it,
for him. Yeah, it was. It's, if you're going to go out away, it was fantastic for him to do that. But you can see, I always remember the scenes at the end. We give him the trophy and we was all bowing to him, and the lads loved him, and he was a big part. And I think the Southend fans all took to him as well. Everyone turning up in their Caribbean shirts and
that's right.
It was a great day.
Yeah, fantastic. So, obviously, you mentioned you played for Palace. I think Bournemouth as well, didn't you, for a period? Who would you say is the toughest player you come up against?
I was about to say that, yeah.
The toughest, there's a couple. I was a young pro at Plymouth and we played Everton. And I come up against Mark Hughes early in my career. So I was 18 at the time. Mark Hughes, they had Gascoigne in the team, who was my hero growing up.
Yeah.
Mark Hughes was some player. For an 18-year-old to come up against him, he was mid-30s at the time, but just the touch, the vision of him.
He was such a competitor, weren't he?
Oh, he was a standout. From a young player learning the trade, he gave me a good learning lesson that day. But there's been a few. I mean, I've got to mention Stan Collymore. Played against him when he was at Fulham, and Stan was one where he just had everything. If he really wanted to turn it on that day, he had the lot. He had pace, power, 2-footed, good in the air, strong. So Stan was up there. But I've been very, very lucky. I played against Anelka, Drogba, Robbie Keane.
Anelka was quick, wasn't he? I mean, Drogba was just a ball, wasn't he?
Powerhouse, wasn't he?
So strong.
Drogba was a powerhouse, but I thought Anelka was really difficult to pick up. Robbie Keane was a nightmare because he didn't want to play up against you. He was always in pockets. So, I've been very, very lucky. Very lucky to play against so many good players, Jermaine Defoe's and Harry Kane and people like that. But for me, at the standout for the stage I was at my career, Mark Hughes was a great learning curve for me that day.
Yeah, he was a hell of a player. I do remember. Funny enough, we've got him in our dugout on Saturday because we're playing Carlisle.
Yes.
We'll give him some stick.
Yeah,
we'll give him some stick. We're close enough.
I know Kev likes a bit sometimes. Who do you fancy between those two?
well, it's going to be. I've got to put my money on Kev, haven't I? He's my old teammate.
Hughes is getting on a bit now, but he'd probably still give a bit, wouldn't he?
Yeah.
I mean, growing up, Adam, obviously, who did you ever play? I mean, you touched on earlier on. Who is there? Someone sort of you looked up to and sort of based your game on, or you looked as a sort of an influence as you were coming through?
Yeah, I mean, funny enough, Gascoigne. When I was at the age when Gascoigne sort of mid-80s, late 80s, remarkable. Early 90s. And he was the only player that I'd gone to watch live where every time he touched the ball, the stadium come alive. People got excited.
He was ridiculous, weren't he?
It was like an energy, and I was like, hooked. Believe it or not, I was a midfield player up until I was 6. I was a centre midfield player. So,
okay. Right.
Explains the goals, doesn't it?
Well, if you can remember, I used to like a mazy run from the back. I used to like to...
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
So probably Gascoigne was a big influence when I was a kid.
So it was all Gazza.
But I loved people like Stuart Pearce. I loved the Terry Butcher, Julian Dix.
Yes. Yeah,
that was my, I really sort of...
Julian Dix as well, yeah.
Yeah, I like them type of players. They were Brian Robson.
Yeah.
The guys that left everything on the pitch. The ones who...
You could see that, yeah.
They were the guy next door, but also, when they went on the pitch, they meant business. Tony Adams.
Yeah.
Used to really like Des Walker, people like that. So I had quite a... there's quite a lot of players that were influenced, but I'd say the one when I was growing up, because it was right in the heart of Gazza mania, for me, he was the standout because he was just something special.
Yeah. So Adam, I grew up in a Spurs family, so I saw Gazza a lot when he first came to Spurs, and he was just ridiculous what he could do with the ball. Honestly, it's almost as like... I wish you'd have seen Charlie. It's almost as like you should have had one ball for the rest of the team and one for Gazza, because it was just, honestly, he was insanely good. And just used to go through players and crazy.
There's something special in any sport. I think when you watch sport, but you've got the guys who, it's a real talent to be out. Like I said, every time he got the ball, I remember going to White Hart Lane and he gets the ball and the whole stadium holds its breath.
Yeah.
Every time he touches it, it's like waiting for something magical to happen. And obviously the Lionel Messis have got it, or I can imagine if you went and watched Michael Jordan in his heyday, it would have been the similar sort of thing where they've just got that, I don't know what it is.
It's a natural ability, isn't it, really?
Yes.
And just got that natural,
he was just, people see him as one of theirs. He was just a normal bloke, but he just had exceptional talent. And I think it's sad now because I remember him in his pomp, and people see him now and the problems. And I say to my kids, Paul Gascoigne was one of the best in the world. They look at him and think, really? But he was a special,
like you say,
and
and I think,
as a special character. Sorry, he was a special character as well.
Oh yeah. And the stories, I mean, the one that got me was the ostrich at the training ground. I don't know if you heard that one, Charlie.
I have.
Some of the stuff he got up to.
There's all sorts in there.
I think health and safety.
You never took an ostrich to training, Adam?
No, I don't think so. I don't think I have.
I suppose you had a goat, didn't you, at Southend?
Well,
and then a pig.
As far as it went.
And then a pig as well.
That's right. So, you've mentioned a lot of amazing players there. But, there was a guy we used to watch, Charlie, wasn't it? He wasn't bad. A guy called Adam Barrett. He was pretty good. Great career for us. And listen, Adam, thank you so much for coming on. It's been an absolute pleasure chatting with you.
It's a real pleasure. It really is,
If you stay on, we'll tell you who's in the 11 up to date once we stop pressing record, because we can't give it away yet. But again, thank you for coming on. It's been an absolute pleasure. And
can I just say thank you very much. Thanks very much for all the shrimpers out there. I love playing for the football club. You took me in as one of your own straight away, which I know I am, but the support that you give me over the years through good and bad times was something very, very special. Not a lot of players get, and I do really appreciate that. And I'd like to wish, obviously, yourselves, your mum, who's pleased that I won the...
Thank you.
I just want to wish you all the very best this season. I can't wait to see the club get back up. It will get back up. It will, whether it's this season, it will happen. And your support throughout all the tough times have been immense. So thank you very much. Thanks for having me on here, and it's a real honour to be in your all-time 11.
Thanks so much, Adam. Cheers, mate. Thank you.